Good day everyone, Mr. Cargill here with our next AutoCAD video. Now for this video, we are going to continue looking at orthographic projection. So for the last video, we did this drawing here, which is this isometric figure represented in first angle projection. Now for this drawing here, the one that I did first angle projection, we did not have this circle here. We're going to do this same drawing, but this time we're going to do it in third angle projection, and I added a circle to it because I want you to understand how you would go about representing circles and holes in orthographic projection. Now this here is a hole, and this hole goes all the way through the figure, so it goes all the way down. We're going to have to represent that in our drawing. All right, so we're going to be doing third angle projection. So now over here, this shows us the third angle projection, and this shows us where our different plans and our different views will be. So for third angle projection, we'll have the plan view at the top. All right, we will have the front elevation below the plan, then we will have the left elevation to the left and the right elevation to the right. All right, so that's how it's laid out for third angle projection. Plan at the top, then the front elevation below that. You put the left to the left of the front elevation and the right to the right of the front elevation. So with that information now, we are going to go ahead and start our drawing. All right, so let's start with the plan view. All right, so we're starting with the plan view. So the plan view will be at the top. We're going to start with the plan view for this. All right, let me just move this drawing and bring it over a little bit. Move it over here. Good, nice. All right, so the plan view, what we see when we're looking down. All right, so in this case, this is what we're going to be seeing. So this here is 50, and we know that that is 50 because here it says 50, so we'll be seeing that 50. This distance is also 50, and we know that because we're seeing the 50 right here. All right, so if this is 50, it means that that is 50, and over here is also 50. This is 30, as it says right here, and then that is 200. So we can start with that drawing. All right, so let's start with that. So start with the 200 line. All right, let me just so just choose a place to start, and I'll type this 200. So that's 200. Then I'm doing this side here now, this side, and that side is 50. So I'll come down by 50, and then across this distance here is also 50. All right, so that is 50. So now we go across by 50. We're going to go up by 30. Why 30? Because right here this distance is 30. That means that over that side it is also 30, which means that this is 30. All right, so, and the reason why we know that it's 30 over this side is because we're not given the next measurement for over here, so that means that this distance is the same as this distance. All right, so we're going to go up now by 30. Good, so now we need this line here, and the dimension for that line says that that is 100. We're going to go ahead and draw that line 100 millimeters. All right, and then we're getting this line right here, which is 30. So we'll go down by 30 and across by this distance here, which is 50. We're drawing this line, and that line is 50. Now we're going to go across by 50. All right, and then we'll do that. All right, good. So now that's what we see that we're looking down, but we're missing one thing, and that is the circle. All right, now in order to find the center of the circle, in terms of the dimensions, you'll be given a dimension. So for example, you'll be given a dimension like this to say that the center of the circle is the center of the circle. All right, let me show you. So that's the center of the circle. So it's a dimension that will say that the center of the circle is fix this thing. All right, so it will tell you that the center of the circle is like 15 millimeters away from here, and also 15 millimeters away from there. So you will know where the circle is located. In this case, I didn't have that information, but I know that the circle is the center of this entire box. So if I find the center of this entire box, I will be able to draw my circle. But on a different drawing, you will be given the position at the center of the circle. All right, the distance from like this to the end over here, and from here to the end over here, and then you will know how you'd go about finding the center of the circle. All right, so it says that the radius for a circle is 20, and I know that my circle here is in the center of this box right here. All right, so if I can find the center of that box, and I can find the center of this box by doing this. All right, so this distance here, this line, if I find the center of this line and then draw a line up like that. All right, if I now draw a circle from this center point of this line here, and it says that the radius is 20, so I'm going to draw my circle with a radius of 20. So that's my circle there. All right, there I have my circle. Wonderful. All right, now that I have that, that is exactly what I'm going to be seeing when I'm looking down. All right, so when I'm looking down on this figure, this is what I'm seeing. This is the plan view. So now we have the plan view. We need our XY line. So our XY line, the distance from the plan view to the XY line is not relevant. That distance doesn't matter. All you have to ensure is that whatever the distance from the plan view to the XY line is, that will be the same distance from the XY line to the front elevation. And let me show you what that means. As you would have seen from the first video on first angle orthographic projection. All right, so let me select a construction line. All right, so I'm going to select a line. I'm going to start my drawing, my XY line about 10 millimeters away from the plan. So I'm just going to put my cursor there. I'm not going to click anything. I'm just going to slightly move it down and type 10. And then from there, I'm going to draw my XY line across like that. And then let me just click on this and extend my XY line a little. Like that. Nice. This horizontal distance here, XY line, doesn't really matter either. Lovely. Alright, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to label this. So I will just select text. Alright, I will just select text over here. Select a multi-line text. And click here. Then I would type X or like that. And then move it down to the drawing. And then copy it and type Y. I will change the color, of course. But I already have XY over here. So let me just copy this X. Right, and if you had watched the first video, you would understand lettering, so I don't really have to go through that. And you would also understand lettering from any of my previous videos as well. Alright, let me just turn off ortho a little bit so this X comes a little bit closer to the line. Alright, so I'm going to bring this over here, and over here it's going to be Y. Let me just change the value of this from X to Y. Alright, so there we go, our XY line. Alright, so now we're going to draw a front elevation. So for that, I'm going to bring down my lines from the plan view. Alright, so I'm going to bring my lines down. Let me just turn on ortho for this. But no, I'm not bringing my lines down by any specific distance. I'm just bringing them down a decent length. Like that. All the edges. I also need to bring down the edge of the circle here. The center of the circle also. Alright, so I'm going to bring down a line from the center of the circle. And I'm going to bring down a line from the next edge. And from the edge of the figure itself. Good. Alright, so there. That's all our lines that we brought down from the plan view. Alright, so now that we've brought down all our lines, we can start drawing the plan view. So as I said, we're going to start drawing, not the plan view, sorry, the front elevation. And as I said, we're going to draw the front elevation. The distance from the XY line to the front elevation is going to be the same 10 millimeter like we have right here. So what I can do here is just offset this line by 10 millimeters. So I'm going to click on that. I can either type offset, or I can click over here and it says specify offset distance. I'm going to offset that by 10. Good. So this is the first line that would represent our front elevation. So to actually start drawing the front elevation now, I'm going to start from over here. So over here we have this line here, and this distance is 100, so the height is 100. So to get the height, I can just offset this again by 100. Alright, or I can copy it instead of offset. I can copy it from like that intersection and just bring it down by 100. So just type 100 and enter. There we go. Alright, so this is 100. Let me just measure because it looks kind of long. I want to ensure that it is indeed 100. Good, 100. Alright, so now if I select a line from here, bring that down. Let me just change this from construction line. Nice. So if I select a line from here, bring that down there, what does that represent? This line here, that line that I just drew, represents this edge over here. Alright, so on the plan view, you would see that when looking down, which is the top here. So from the front, you'll be seeing this line here, which is the line that we just drew here. So now we'll have this line, which would be that right there. Alright, so now let me draw that. So there we go. And the next line I'm going to draw is this line coming down. So I'll draw that line coming down. Then I'll draw that line that goes across like that. Let me just ensure it's the right point. There we go. Alright, nice. That is wonderful. Now, from here, we are going to go ahead and draw this line, because if we're looking from the front view here, we're going to see that line. So I'm going to represent that line right here. Alright, and it would come over to the right and meet up with this line here. Alright, and that line represents this edge here. Actually, it would go all the way across, and I'm going to tell you why it would go all the way across. It would go all the way across to there. Why does it go all the way across to there? Because when we're looking from this direction, we're going to see this line here. We're going to see that line, and that line, but they're going to look like one flat line going across, like one straight line going across when you're looking from the front of this figure. Nice. Alright, so now I'm going to draw this down here, and down here it's going to be the same thing like at the top. You're going to see this line, that line, and that line, and it's going to look like one line going all the way across. So I can just draw a line from here and draw that line all the way across to this point to up here. That's nice. So now we'll also see this line here. So let me draw that. It would come from this edge here. Alright, it would come from that edge there. So now I'm going to write this here and bring this down. Nice, nice. Alright, so now we have the line from the edge of the circle and the center of the circle. And I've included the circle or the hole, because it's a hole because it goes all the way through. I included that in the drawing because I wanted to show you go about representing holes in orthographic projection. So I would use a broken line for the edges. So where the hole is here, the edge here, this line, I would use a broken line like that. And the same thing for over this edge. But it's orthographic projection, right? So when I look at this and I see these two lines coming down, it doesn't have to be a circle, does it? It could be the whole could have been a square. If I didn't have the plan view and I was just looking at the front view. Alright? And I see these lines, I know that it represents some hidden detail. That means that there's a hole going through. But this hole doesn't have to be a circle, it could be a square. Alright? So how do I know it's a circle? It could be a square or a rectangle. How do I know it's a circle? I have to represent the center line. So I'm going to get the center line, which is here. All right. So I select a center line, and if you don't see the center line over here or the broken line, just click on other, click on load, and then you can come down and select ISO dash for the broken line, and select center for the center line. All right, and then just click OK, and then you click on the line that you want. All right, so I'm using a center line. So I'm going to draw the center line through the figure. I'm just going to start a little bit outside of the front view itself, and then draw that down a little bit outside of it down here. So the center line works like that. It doesn't really go exactly from the top here to down here. You start it a little bit outside and bring it down to represent it. All right, so that's my center line. Nice. So what this says to me now is that this is a circle. All right, this hole is a circular hole. Nice. So that's everything. So that's my front elevation. So now I need to draw my side. I'm going to draw the side that I'm seeing. If I'm looking from here, I'm going to be seeing the right side. All right, so I'm seeing the right side. So now I'm going to represent the right side on the right of the front elevation, because that's how it's represented in third angle. That's how it is represented in third angle orthographic projection. So I'm going to go ahead and select a construction line. Then I come out a center line and go to a continuous line. Then now, the same way like I had the XY line here, all right, on the horizontal plane, I'm going to have an X line over here. I'm going to call that line X1, Y1. So since this distance from the front elevation to the XY line is 10 millimeters, and from the plan view to the XY line is 10 millimeters, so from this edge to my X1, Y1 line has to be 10 millimeters as well. All right. So what I can do is just click on this line here, and I can offset that by 10. All right. So I can either offset or copy. Let me just copy from this edge and just bring it over by 10. So just type 10 and press enter. There we go. Now so this line would be my X1, Y1 line. All right. So let me just label this line. I have X1, Y1 over here, so I can just copy it from this drawing, or do I not? Oh, I do. I can just copy this. The author is on. I can just bring this across. I could have just typed this, but I already have it here, so let me just make use of it. All right, nice. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to move this, sorry, from here. I'm going to bring it down here. Let me turn off ortho and objects now. Alright, so this is I want to move it out of the drawing. Yes, X1. And then down here, just label this Y1. Yeah, so that's my X1, Y1 line. Now, where my XY line meets my X1, Y1 line, which is right here. So this is XY line, this is X1, Y1. From where they meet each other, I'm going to draw a 45-degree line. And to draw a 45-degree line, I can just turn on polar tracking, click on the drop down arrow beside polar tracking, and click on 45, 90, 135, and so on. Alright, so then I'm going to click where the two lines meet. Let me just turn on back objects now. I'm going to click where the two lines meet. And then I'm going to draw a 45-degree line. There we go. Wonderful. Now, from all these edges here, from the plan view, we're going to draw lines across to meet that 45-degree line. Then we're going to move those lines down. I'm going to draw lines across like that. Also from here, that's the edge of the circle. From this edge here, from the center of the circle, from the edge of the circle. We're not bringing across the lines by any specific measurements right now. And yeah, and then the edge of the figure itself. So let's just check to see if we're missing any lines. So I have a line going from that edge, the edge of the circle, this edge, the center of the circle, the next edge of the circle, and the edge of the figure itself. Alright, that's all our lines. So where those lines meet the 45-degree line, we are now going to bring those lines down. So right here, I'll bring this down like that. Let me just turn on ortho. Alright, I'm just going to bring that line down like that. This line as well. Also this line over here. And this line here. And this line. And also this line. Nice. That's all my lines. It does look like a lot of line, but it's alright. Alright, so now I am going to draw my right side elevation over here, my right elevation. Alright, so look at the lines that we're bringing down now. So this line here goes across, meets the 45-degree line and comes down. That's the first line we're going to brighten. So let me just change this. There we go. Alright, so if I'm going to click on this line now, because you can see this line from here goes across. It meets the 45-degree here, 45-degree line here, and then comes down. So this is the first line we're going to brighten. And this line comes across like that. So this is where we're going to start, right at that intersection. And then draw this all the way down here. Then we're going to bring this all the way across to the edge here. Bring it up back to there and close it off there. Now, if that was confusing, this is why we did it. This line here goes across to meet the 45-degree line here, right? And then it comes down like that. So this is the outermost line. The line that is going down here would be the outermost line, which is this line here. All right. So that's why we went all the way across over to there. But now we have some hidden details that we have to represent. And to represent that hidden detail, just like we did over here in the front elevation for the circle, it's the same thing that we're going to do. We're going to select a broken line. Alright. And this edge of the circle here comes across and meets the 45-degree line here. And then goes down. So from here, I'm going to click on that point. And I'm going to bring this line down. Also, from the next edge of the circle, I'm going to do the same thing. So this edge of the circle comes across, meets the 45-degree line here, and then comes down. So from here, I'm going to draw that down. Lovely. Then now, we have this line going across to meet the 45-degree line. Alright, we have a line from here going across to meet the 45-degree line, and then it goes down. So that's the line from the center of the circle. So because it's the line from the center of the circle, we use a center line. And then we're going to draw this down. But we're not going to draw it down exactly from here. It's a center line. So you start it a little bit outside of the drawing. Like that. And then bring it down. And bring it a little bit outside like that. Right? That says it's a center line. Now I know that that's a circle. Well, that's a circle, a hole. Alright? But I have one more hidden detail line that I need to draw. And that hidden detail line is this thing here. This edge. Alright? Because we're looking from this side. Alright? We're looking from here. There's a line going down here. But from here, we're not seeing that. But we still have to represent that it's there by using broken lines. Broken lines mean that something is there, but you're not seeing it. Alright? So it goes across here, meets this 45-degree line and comes down. So from there, we have to represent that using broken lines. Alright, so this line here goes across from there to meet the 45-degree line and goes down. Let me click on that and then close that off right there. So that's my drawing completed. There's only one thing that I'm left to do now. One thing that I'm left to do. Alright? And here's what I have to do. Yeah. All right, let me do this. I'm going to highlight all the construction lines, and then I'm going to put them in a layer so that you can see the join itself. I'm going to change those to the def points layer. So now if I freeze the def points layer, yeah, just add these to the def points layer as well. All the construction lines. All right. So now this is the figure. So now you see the figure clearly. Now we need to add one more thing, which is our symbol, our third angle symbol. So last week we drew the first angle symbol here. All right. So now we're going to draw the third angle symbol. Well, not last week, for the last drawing that we did, the drawing on our first angle orthographic projection. So now we're going to draw the third angle symbol. All right, for this drawing. And over here, this here is our all right, our third angle symbol. This was the first angle symbol that we did. So the third angle symbol, the only difference is that this circle goes on the opposite side of the cone. All right, the circle goes on the opposite side of the cone for the third angle symbol. All right, so for that, all we have to do for the third angle symbol is to simply, all right, so this drawing here, I drew this symbol from the drawing on first angle orthographic projection, so you can watch that drawing to see how I drew this symbol. So I'm just going to copy this symbol from here, just copy all that. We bring it over here. All right, and I'm going to change it, rearrange it, and so that you can see how you'd go about drawing the third angle projection symbol, or how it would look. All right, so let me do that. All right, so to draw the third angle projection symbol, as I said, the main difference when you're drawing the third angle projection symbol is that the circle will be on the next side of the cone instead of the side that it is on right now. All right, so how would we go about representing that? All right, so to do so, the first thing I would do is this here. Let me just move this over a bit. All right, so this would be like that. Then let me just move this. Oh, sorry, I forgot to move the small circle as well. We'll just move the small circle from the center, move it over here, and then let me this from here and bring it here. All right, now first angle, we have first angle and we have third angle. So why do we draw the projection symbols? We draw the projection symbols so that when people look at the drawing, they can know whether the drawing is in first angle or if it is indeed in third angle. All right, good. So for the third angle projection symbol, that is how it would look. All right, basically the opposite of the first angle projection symbol. All right, so let me just delete this line here. This line is a bit too long, so let me just trim off a piece side. All right, don't need these construction lines either. Remember, if you don't understand how I draw the projection symbol, just look how I drew the first angle projection symbol, and then it's the same for the third angle projection symbol. The only difference is that for the first angle, the cone is over here, and then for the third angle, sorry, for the first angle, the circle is over this side, and for the third angle, the circle is there on the cone, the left side of the cone. All right, so I can just move this back a bit closer to the drawing. All right, so there we have it. So that's our drawing completed. All right, that's our drawing completed. So that is our drawing in third angle orthographic projection. And this is the third angle orthographic projection for this isometric figure right here. Alright, I do hope that you found the video helpful. If there is anything that you don't understand, you can always ask. If there are any videos that you would like me to do, if there are any topics that you would like me to do a video on, then you can mention that in the comment section below. So thanks for watching, and do have yourselves a wonderful day.